Are you planning a celebrity cruise out of Fort Lauderdale, but you have no idea how to get to the port and navigate your way through the terminal or the check-in process? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know about Fort Lauderdale's Port Everglades, Terminal 25, and the Celebrity Cruises check-in process. Stay tuned for more. There's something special and exciting about flying in over southern Florida as you get ready to embark on a cruise. But for new travelers, there can also be some nervous anticipation around the unknown. Landing in Fort Lauderdale for the first time and trying to figure out how to get a safe ride to your hotel or the cruise port can be nerve-wracking, especially for planners like me. Well, in this video, we're going to show you what it's like from the moment you arrive at the airport to getting a taxi or Uber, driving to the port, and finding your terminal. Then we'll show you what it's like to go through the check-in and boarding process from dropping your bags to crossing the gangway to the ship. In this case, we're talking about Celebrity Cruises in Terminal 25 at Port Everglades, but the same concepts can be applied to whatever cruise line or terminal you will be using. After you arrive and collect your bags, you're going to make your way out to the transportation area. There's lots of signs posted in Fort Lauderdale Airport showing you where the taxi stands are, and there'll be lots of people to give you direction. But if you're getting a ride share, there are signs showing you where the pickup area is, whatever your app. In our case, we used Uber, and the cars will just pull up alongside and take you to your destination. Normally we fly in at least a day early and we head off to our hotel before heading to the cruise port. In this video we're going to just take you directly to the cruise port, and all you tell your driver is that you're heading to Port Everglades and the cruise line you're looking for with the name of the ship. Usually they know the terminal number, but if they don't, there are lots of signs posted at the entrances to Port Everglades. The first thing you're going to have to do is go through the security checkpoint, so have your ID and your cruise itinerary ready, and this will expedite your driver getting through. Terminal 25 is a very modern looking facility. It opened in October of 2018 and has about 160,000 square feet. It looks almost brand new. That's how well it's kept up by Celebrity Cruises, and it is the easternmost terminal that you can find at Port Everglades. There's a parking garage right next to the terminal for those who may be driving to the port, but otherwise your ride share or taxi will drop you off at the main entrance to Terminal 25, and you'll see the familiar porters waiting there in their white uniforms usually to pick up your luggage. Make sure you got your luggage tags already applied, and that way it'll make your transfer a lot quicker and easier, so they don't have to put one on for you. You basically pull up to the curb, you'll meet a porter, they'll take your bags and load them onto the carts for boarding onto the ship itself. And don't forget to give these hard-working individuals a little tip for their efforts. It's really appreciated and goes a long way. Once your bags are all safely checked in with the porters, it's going to be time to make your way inside the terminal building itself. But before we do, here's a little overview of the area and what it looks like from the ship once you're on board. As the day goes on, this loading area in front of the terminal will get a little busier as more and more guests are coming for their assigned check-in times. There are several queues for the entrance to the main building, and you just make your way to the shortest line. Sometimes there will be a sign posted with your time for boarding listed, and that's the line you would get in. Once you walk inside the building through the main doors, you will notice it's an absolutely beautiful complex. Celebrity Cruises has invested a lot in their flagship terminal here at Port Everglades, and you will also notice that there are an awful lot of celebrity staff on hand. They really go out of their way to make your experience top-notch from the first moment you walk into the terminal through everything you're going to enjoy aboard of the ship. There are a couple sets of stairwells as well as escalators and elevators to take you to the second floor of the main loading hall, and it's in this area where you will eventually go through security and then on to the actual ticketing process itself. Of course, you shouldn't film security operations, and we just have a little shot here of approaching the line and a look back on when we walked away from the security area, heading towards the other queues now for the processing of your boarding passes on your way aboard your celebrity ship. There was hardly any wait in these lines at all, and I gotta say, the staff were all very friendly. You'd think that they were going to be going on the cruise according to how happy they were just to be helping you out. They ask you a few questions, verify your IDs, they take a look at your passport, cross-reference with your boarding credentials, and before you know it, you're on your way through the magic gates and be making your way to the waiting area. Once you've been processed, they're going to escort you towards a seating area for holding for just a couple of minutes, as they do not want to have too many people trying to rush the gangway at any single point in time. There's also a service desk here in case anybody has additional questions or something just wasn't right about your boarding pass at the time of check-in. Lots of staff here to help you out and serve you as well. And again, you'll see lots of people in blue shirts throughout the day giving you directions. I think we were sitting on the bench for maybe 2 to 3 minutes before they told us it was our time to make our way to the gangway. Here there was one final check and verification by another staff member just to verify that you were ready. Your pictures were taken and uploaded to your cruise account, and then it was that beautiful walk inside the terminal and then eventually onto the gangway, making our way up aboard the ship. Even after many years of cruising and many cruises, we still love this walk. It's so exciting as you get ready to take those first steps aboard the ship. Of course, you've seen lots of videos about what happens once you're on the ship and an embarkation day. We do have a video on embarkation day if you're wondering about that, as well as a video on some embarkation mistakes to avoid. Here's just a view of where the ship will sit in the dock. It's the easternmost dock of Port Everglades. And here's another view looking from the aft of the ship. This is some of the sights you'll see in Port Everglades. Of course, this is looking back towards the loading area. This is the parking garage that I referenced earlier. And of course, you can see the building. And of course, here are a few views of the departure area when you're coming out of Terminal 25. The other thing that we promised we would show you in this video is what it looks like upon your return to Port Everglades. Coming off of the ship, you're going to go in reverse order down the gangway. This is not such a happy time once your cruise is over, but it's something you must do. And you're going to make your way back down the same gangway and into the terminal building. On your way through the terminal, you're going to see, of course, the naughty desk. This is where anybody who had items that were confiscated prior to departure or during the cruise can pick up those items from security. And then eventually you'll make your way back down the escalators into the luggage hall. These luggage halls are very large, but they are numbered by the bag tags that you put on your bags before you get off the ship. So you go to the numbered area, you pick up all of your luggage, then you're going to make your way through U.S. Customs, which now is a facial recognition feature, very quick to process through customs these days. And you'll find your way back outside the terminal looking for a taxi or ride share. There are lots of buses and transfers to the airport if that's what you're looking for. And again, there are lots of staff in this area to help you out and to give you more directions. That's the end of our tour of Terminal 25 Celebrity Cruises at Fort Lauderdale's Port Everglades. We really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more great content. Thanks for watching.